AnimeBallZ fans, this is Adam with another episode of Superhero Time. There's a car there. So what we're talking about today, in case the song and the footage at the top of the video did not give it away, is Engine Sentai Go-Onger. And the reason we're talking about this one today, rather than as anyone who might be familiar with the Super Sentai brand might have suspected had they watched my previous videos. The reason we're talking about Go-Onger and not, I believe, Denji-Man, which would have been the fourth series after Battle Fever J, is that I decided that it's spent enough time back in the history of Super Sentai, having a look at Go-Ranger and Jacko and Battle Fever J and all those other fantastic things. I decided it was worth having a look at something a bit more modern. And so I thought about it and I went, I think we'll have a look at Engine Sentai Go-Onger. The reason we chose Go-Onger is that it was the first one I actually watched. A couple of years ago I had this revitalization inside of me, this desire to watch Power Rangers, so I obtained the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, watched them, loved them as much as I did as a child, mostly because of nostalgia, I dare say. And then I started watching Power Rangers Zeo, it was still pretty good, then I got to Power Rangers Turbo. And it upset me because it was bad, it was very, very bad. And at this point, I was much more aware of what Super Sentai was than I was previously. I knew that it was where Power Rangers started, what Power Rangers was before the Americans got their grimy little hands on it. So I resolved to watch one. And at this point, I'd seen very, very limited footage of any Super Sentai outside of what I'd seen in Power Rangers. But what I had seen was pretty goddamn amazing. I'd seen two pieces of footage from Go-Onger. The G3 Princess, which I'll roll now.
Go-Onger のスマイル担当サキです。Go-Wings ラブリー担当ミユです。ガイアークセクシー担当ケガレシアです。一生懸命歌います。聞いてください。G3 プリンセスはアイドルナンバーワン。私たちプリンセス。好き好き好き好き好き好き。心に好きあり。LLOVE ラブリーハートコー。未来の片鱗気づいてダーリン。領域を返上頑張れ順調。私も知らない私を見つけて乙女は秘密が多いよ。渚へデジャブランデブー。誰もが明日のランゼ。おへそと一緒に本音もちらっと G3 プリンセス。ピンクのドレスをシワになってもいいの。ぎゅっとその手で抱きしめて。Hold on。恋したらたくさんの初めてに出会う。I love you 以来の王子様。早く。
And a footage of Go-On Red doing yoga while watching a dinosaur cartoon. And I went, you know what? This is where I'm going to start. So you've got Sasuke, Ren and Saki, and then you've got Hanpo and you've got Gunpei, the Green and Black Rangers respectively. And they form the Go-Onger. And then a little bit later you've got a shake-up, you've got 2 new people coming, rather than just this traditional 6th Ranger, which we haven't actually looked at yet, because we haven't done Ranger yet, because I'm doing that one next. The Go-On Wings, the Gold and Silver Rangers, Hiroto and Mew. Mew and Saki you will recognise from the clip I played earlier with the girls in there. So let's go back to that because it's pretty much great. Let's roll that again. We've established already what Sentai is. It's a show about giant robots beating up giant monsters. And pretty much once the monster is giant and the giant robot has been summoned to beat up on this giant monster, you sort of know what's going to happen. The giant robot's going to win. It's going to be, a very, very uneven battle. It's going to dead. You know this is going to happen. We've got the Speedor, and we've got Buson, and we've got Bearav. They're just the first 3, yeah? So the first 3 of the first 3 Rangers I mentioned. And they make Engine. Pretty standard stuff so far, yeah? And then you've got Burka and Gunpei. who come along with Hanto and Gunpei. And they get their own sort of third mech as well, an orange giant thing called Carrigator. And they combine, so you've got two combined mech. So you've got Engineer and you've got Gunburo, I think. I'm going to go with Gunburo. You've got two of them, right? But then all six of those can combine, so you've got Engino G6. And then you've got Hiroto and you've got Mew, so they get their own mech as well, don't they? So you've got Toruta, who's a helicopter. You can see what they did there. You've got Jetris, who's a jet, go on wings, yeah. So, and then they've got their own third mech, who is Bo Whale, who goes boom, and he's pretty cool. But then they make Saikuo, which is a third mech, so you've got three, and then all 12 of those, all 9, counting, all 9 of those sort of, and then you've got Engino G9, and then you've got 3 more again, which are for some reason dinosaurs, and they sort of belong to Sasuke, but not really. They're sort of a communal 3 additional mech. Kishamoth, T-Line and K-Line, I don't actually recall them ever being called anything by name. And then they make Kyoretsu, so you've got 4 mech, and they, just by themselves, 4 mech could handle pretty much anything, yeah? But no, let's do this properly. Let's really go knock the ball out of the park with Engine Sentai Go-Onger. Let's have as many Let's get all 12 of them, right? We'll get all 12 of the silly little robots and we'll put them together. Engine G12. Which I'm pretty sure is the tallest of all the Sentai mech, and which I'm pretty sure is the most overpowered, because it's sort of, it's dumb. Look at it. Look at this picture of it. It's got 2 of the mech. Their only job in the transformation is to, I don't know, be Engino's shoelaces or something. It's really weird. This is a pretty big problem with the show, if I'm being honest, but the good thing about it is it's the only problem. And it's the only problem really with Sentai. It relies on its robots far too heavily, and it becomes very, very grating, very, very frustrating. And in Engine Sentai Go-Onger was very, very guilty of relying on its crutch far too heavily. But it never fell over. The show is hilarious, it's fantastic, and I am more than happy that it was the one I started with. I could spend some minutes talking about how spectacular it was, but I'm not going to. It's not the sort of show that needs deconstruction. It's just not that. It's not that heavy. It's not that deep. It's just a show about seven comic relief characters fighting a bunch of comic relief characters. Sure, they've got talking cars from the car universe, and they go to the samurai universe, and there's the bag laser from the pollution universe. And okay, when you describe it like that, the show sounds really dumb, like really dumb. But just take my word for it. It's pretty spectacular. Great. Okay, no, it's dumb. It's really dumb, but Sasuke's hilarious. Like, really hilarious. He's spectacular. Plus, Mew's pretty. The reason I chose Go-Onger, look both ways before you go out and do a trick. Okay, the reason we chose Go-Onger